Well, thanks for being here. Wow. What the heck just happened? Special thanks, as always. Never want to take anything for granted, and that's all the way from the Skull Session to a wonderful crowd, an incredible band, and that stadium helped. We needed them the most, and that was one of the best fourth quarters I've ever witnessed in my coaching career. So hats off to our fans and the 10th unit, the crowd. And just a quick comment about our quarterback. You know, I see all these, everyone's throwing these sheets at me with records this, records that. You guys can figure out all the records. I'll just tell you, and a man, this is one man talking about another man. I don't know if I've ever had more respect for a human being and as a person, as you know, because you earn respect and you witness people in very dire straits at times, tough situations, and that's why I have so much respect for the men and women who serve our military, because they get put in such tough situations, and I love to talk to them about those situations and the respect they earn for each other, and we're certainly not in that kind of environment, but we're in college football where it's either yes or no in those situations, and he was a big yes tonight. I've never had a kid play perfect, but damn, he was close tonight. 33 of 39. I can count 4 drops off the top of my head, and then 2 penalties that kept him from big completions. And he'd be the first one to tell you he's a product of those around him, which he is. Receivers, offensive line played well. That's the #1 defense in America we have great respect for. And I just can't, just how proud I am of JT. With that said, I'll answer any questions.
Front row right, Rob.
Urban, you said earlier in the week that the biggest games are won by the best leadership. JT, you see him behind the scenes. I think he had 16 straight completions tonight at one point.
Wow.
What do you see? What did you see this week in him?
I've seen, I've had him for I think 5 years. I've seen it ever since he's been playing for us. You know, I heard about this JT Barrett guy, and he came on as a redshirt freshman, and he wasn't tall enough, wasn't this, wasn't that, but he's tough as a lion, and he has an incredible skill to lead others, and that's why. And he's not by himself. That's why I named 9 captains this year, because when you start separating, those 9 guys are different than, they deserve that opportunity to lead this team, and they did that. And you can see a bunch of those cats are in that defensive line, and that's as good a defensive line play as I've ever seen.
Far left, Ari.
Urban, I know you just got done talking about JT, but you mentioned tumultuous times, and he's had a very kind of up and down career at times when it comes to just the battle he had with Cardale, and 5 weeks ago people thinking that he should be benched. I'm wondering, can you give me a little bit more perspective of what it might have been like behind closed doors with him a month ago, and a little bit of an idea of
what this might mean? Yeah, it was all about getting better. There's, with all due respect to people who had that opinion, that in the Woody Hayes facility there wasn't any opinion. There was zero conversation about that discussion. So once again, when I hear people say, well, there's a lot of people thought, that's not one time I've walked into a staff meeting and say, hey, what do you guys think, what do the fans and the media think about JT? We don't talk about that. We talked about what do we have to do to get better, and realize that a lot of times the quarterback, deservedly so, gets far too much credit, far too much blame. Like, he's getting a lot of credit tonight, but also those receivers played their tails off for him too.
He's a strong kid. It's had to have been
strong.
I mean, yeah,
strong as a lion.
But he also reads and knows and is aware of all the things.
I think he's beyond all that. I think there's a point, all of us in our lives, that you'll read something, you'll say, what is that? He's a professional. He's a college athlete, but he's a pro. And I'm at the point in my career too, and so a lot of older guys are like, did you read that? Did I read what? No, we're good. We just got to get better. Got to get better. Got to keep the steady in the boat. Keep the boat moving forward.
Front row right, Bill.
Urban, you've won 3 national championships. You're perfect against Michigan. But can you recall a game in which it seemed like you were pushing up the hill and a win was as improbable as this one? Can you describe your emotions and how many times you must have thought it's not meant to be?
Yeah, that one fumble, I kind of thought, we got, and then also our kickoff coverage. I'm not even going to take questions on that. We're going to have to just make some serious changes on personnel and everything else. That was comical. So, yeah, this was, of all the coaching of 31 years I've ever been, I can't remember one quite like this one.
Far left over here, Doug.
Urban, what did you get a sense of on the sideline with your guys when you're down 14-0 like that? so quickly?
I think I say this often, that there's only really one guy panicking. It was me. And we have a bunch of veteran players out there, veteran coaches, and that's Kevin Wilson and Ryan Day did a very nice job. Greg Schiano, defensive staff, very nice job. We just had the task at hand, get some things fixed. And the special teams looked awful at times, but also maybe the play that saved the game, the block punt. And then also when we kicked off one time, got him down 11-yard line. So, I'm not proud of it, but a lot of times I'm the only one panicking out there, and I'm not proud of that. Our team was very solid, very stay focused, and keep swinging.
You said you don't want to talk about it, but you guys did make the adjustments on kickoff to try to deal with the situation. What did you just talk about? What you had to do, sort of, to try to figure something out that could possibly work?
JT's a great leader, and he's a guy that I love to death. And
Front row middle, Austin.
Urban, I know you said that you might have been the only one panicking, but coming off the bye week, you guys seemed so confident. The way that the Ohio State team played in the fourth quarter, I'm not sure that anybody could have matched up. But did you wonder who that team was in the first three quarters and what had happened to the progress that you'd shown over the last month?
Well, we held probably the number one tailback in America to 40 yards. So it was one phase that was really struggling. The offense was moving the ball. I kept looking at the stats, and it was overwhelming. We really didn't get stopped. We had a couple penalties here and there, but that's the ebbs and flows of the game. So when you say the first three quarters, no, I can count a handful of plays that we look like fools, and we have to get that fixed. But it wasn't like we were getting pummeled. It was the opposite. We were playing very well against a very good team, but we had some miscues that were used to be uncharacteristic. Now we got to make sure we get those fixed.
Couple more questions. Over here to the left, Brianna.
Coach Meyer, in the fourth quarter, JT definitely, his performance was Heisman Trophy candidate, like quality. So do you think this was his best performance thus far in his football career?
I think that H word is appropriate after today's game. And the last, what'd you say? Excuse me?
Do you think this is his best performance in his whole football career since he's been here?
Well, I can think of some great ones, but I'd probably put this 1A or 1B. I remember Michigan State in 14 was one of those days like you had today. But yeah, this has to be one of his best. This is one of the best I've ever seen a quarterback play.
Front row, Tim.
Urban, this was a game where both teams were throwing haymakers, especially in the fourth quarter. What is the play you're going to remember most? And then number two, past that, Jalen Holmes' sack there on that last possession set up, the serendipity that led to the last play. What just kind of came right, do you think, in that last possession?
Defensive line and Larry Johnson, I heard, do we blitz, do we do this? And I remember just over the headsets, Coach Johnson saying, let him go. Just let it, Coach, you don't need to pressure him. Let those four guys go after the quarterback. And my gosh, they were all over the place.
And what play do you remember right now? What's the play that just sticks out in your mind for this game? What are you thinking when I say that?
Probably the game winner, because I remember the call was 8-17, Y-seam, look back. And they gave us the look that we needed, and those guys upstairs did a very nice job and executed to perfection.
And two more. Over here to the right, Clay.
Was it the greatest comeback in your coaching career?
I think so.
And did you ever prepare the consolation speech? You said you panicked a little bit.
Didn't have time. Too much going on.
And final question over here to the right.
Urban, Saquon Barkley obviously came into this game with well-deserved accolades. You complimented him. Though we had the opening kickoff, you bottled him up pretty well between the tackles. I'm just wondering if you can talk about the game plan and execution against him.
Yeah, I think I'll leave that up to Greg. Wasn't much involved in that game planning. We talked about him. My biggest concern was not just the fact he's a great running back, but he had 21 carries for 44 yards, if I'm reading that right. Is that right? And one was a 36-yard carry. Wow. Yeah, our defense is all over him. And one of the biggest things that makes him such a great player is the ability to catch the ball. I was as worried about that as, because we're a man coverage team. All of a sudden you get stuck with linebacker playing a man-to-man like you saw against our rivals. So I thought that's a credit. We had a bye week to prepare for him too, but we still have incredible respect for him as a player.
Coach, thank you very much. No, guys, stay back there, please. Stay back there. We're going to bring JT to the mic.
See you, Jarrett.
We'll open up questions for JT at the mic. I'm going to throw this back to a couple of the national guys. If anybody wants the mic first here. Let me get it to Bill. We'll open up to the left there, Bill Bender.
JT, going into the fourth quarter, obviously you guys are down 11. What did you say to your teammates before those last two drives, and what got you into that zone that you got into?
Honestly, we've been in those situations quite a bit, whether it be spring or fall camp. And what was going through my head was Coach Martin saying, go win the game. He says it all the time, is go win the game. And so that's something that, we've been in that position before, and it was a great thing for our guys to go out there and execute it, and all 11 guys did their part.
Far left, Ari.
JT, it's been kind of an interesting up and down season, and we've asked you a lot over the last 5 weeks how it's been for you. Can you give us, now that you're at the highest maybe you've been in your entire career, some insight on what it might have been like after the Oklahoma game, and do you have a special message for people, maybe the loud majority who wanted you not to be the starting quarterback of this team anymore?
I mean, I don't know. I'm at a great spot right now. I mean, it's my senior year, being a quarterback at Ohio State. Love the guys in the locker room, love the brotherhood that we have. And with that, that's what I focus on. I don't really focus on, I guess, the critiques that people have to say about me. I mean, everybody has right to their own opinion, and that's okay with that. And so that's something that doesn't affect me. But right now, I think I just am thankful and thanking God how blessed I am to be in the position I'm in. I tell you all the time, I'm just a little cat from Wichita Falls, Texas, that people don't even know that's on the map, So with that, just grateful for the position guys put me in, and can't say how much I'm blessed.
Second row left, Jacob.
There were two moments that stuck out to me. After the fumble, you were bent over on the field, looked like you're in total disbelief, and then before the fourth down play for the defense, you just sprinted out into the huddle there. Talk about what you were thinking about in the moment after the fumble, and then what you said to the defense there.
Yeah, so when I had that fumble, I was actually trying to hand it off. I wasn't even trying to pull it, but I was just like, it was almost one of those things like, really, JT, right now? That's not the best timing. Yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of game left to be played, and then when that fourth down came, when at the time I said the exact same thing. I said to the offense, just go win the game. Like, go win the game. I mean, I was going through my head the entire game was, you have to go win the game. And then when it came down to the, critical moments where we had to go make plays, we made those plays, and we were able to come out and win the game.
Far left, Bill.
JT, you often say that you're the same guy. You don't feel like you're playing any differently. You look different. The fourth quarter looked different. That completion percentage against this defense, like, were you in a different kind of zone at the end of this game than you've been in before?
I don't know, because when you say, like, I'm different, I feel like I would have to be thinking different in order to feel different, but I really don't feel any different because I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking about, the preparation, what's the down and distance, like all these different things that go into a game. So it's not like I'm telling myself anything new, but no, I think that's what we had to do to go win the game. We had to go, drive the ball downfield, and it took a lot of passes to do that. And so I think the O-line did a great job of, blocking them up front, because those guys, they do a great job of just bull rushing up the middle and then attacking with speed on the edge. So they did a great job handling that, and the guys on the outside made plays. So.
I mean, you're a Heisman Trophy candidate now. You might be the front runner. Urban said it's worth talking about now. Just your thoughts on that.
He said the H word. I'm going to say the same thing, that H word. I don't really focus on it. I mean, next week we got to go beat Iowa, so that's what I'm focused on.
Okay, far right over here, Austin.
JT, in the fourth quarter, the offense comes alive. The defense gets key stops. The special teams gets, the block there that's key. Collectively, I think that's the effort that you guys have been looking for all season long. What prompted that? How did it all come together? Because it seemed like it was bits and pieces up until that fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, I mean, when it comes down to, playing a Big Ten game, it's Penn State, number 2 in the country, at home, somebody's going to step up and make plays. We also talk about that in the offseason. Well, who's going to make the plays? And I think we have a lot of people on our team that have that burning desire to go make those plays, and I think that's what you want in a team. You want to have a team or people that are shot from those moments, and so people step up and made those plays and had confidence in themselves, and I mean, at the end of the day, that's what you really want.
Tim?
JT, on the winning touchdown pass, Marcus Ball broke wide open in the middle. Just give me just your thought as you see that happening. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, while it was happening, I saw the linebacker, I think it was 40, 43. I was like, hey, Jay, just put it over the linebacker and we score. And so I was able to do that. But that was about it, because he was getting depth. I think he saw me looking at him and was able to put it in a good spot. Marcus made a great catch.
Front row, Rob?
JT, we've seen the videos of you behind the scenes, like a crazed dog. And yet you're up here calm. How do you behave during the game? What do you say to guys? They know this about you, but is that inspirational to them, would you say?
What is it inspirational when you say that?
The way you, behind the scenes, deal with them.
I don't know. I think something interesting that I didn't hear until Coach Wilson came, he said as a leader you have different clubs, like in golf. Like you have different ways to go about certain situations, so you just can't come across one way. And that kind of stuck with me. Coach Day agreed with him. So with that, I mean, there's some times where I got to come across aggressive and intense and, get our guys motivated. And other times where you need poise and let everybody know that everything's going to be all right. We just got to, stick together and it's going to work out.
How were you at the end of the fourth quarter? Which one of those were you?
I was kind of poised, just positive energy. Something Coach Day said, go stay up, be positive, and was able to do that.
And last question for JT here, and then we'll continue his press conference on Tuesday. Dan.
JT, I think Urban called it the Y-seam look back is the name of that play. How often do you guys run that, and what look do you want on that? Did you see, and what was your reaction after it happened?
You talking about the last touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually put that in on Wednesday. We had 2 weeks to prepare, or I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday, and so with that it was put them in a tight spot, being that they play cover 6, so they play cover 2 in the boundary, and then they got 2 guys running up on them, so that safety has to make a decision, and then the play action definitely helped. But I mean, I'm looking at the safety and see which one he picks, because whatever he does, he's wrong. So. But at the end of the day, O-line did their part in blocking with the play action. That was a gap play action pass, and that's a tough day to do, especially against those guys. And they did their part, and I just threw it to a wide open person.
Great. JT, thank you very much, and congratulations.